Hello, welcome back to Gamership.
Oh, I was gonna do a 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, okay, do that then. Go ahead.
No, we're already started. Let's do it.
Oh.
Back in the dorm, I sorted through the pile of textbooks the school left for me. My radio was playing a Hot tune, equal parts music to static. My fervently scribbled in a notebook on a desk, hunched over it with strikingly poor posture.
Hey, Mai. She already said it.
She didn't bother to look up.
Am I supposed to have a textbook for History 309?
She shuffled through the papers on her desk before producing a thick textbook. A demure man with a powdered wig frowned at me from the cover.
Yeah, this one.
You know, I've heard, why people in old photos look like they're frowning and, mad.
Oh, why?
Is because the exposures were so long that they couldn't really hold a smile for that long because it would make it blurry.
Uh-huh.
So instead they just had, straight faces because it was easier to sit there for the whole 3-second exposure.
Oh, then to smile.
And especially for, getting your face painted, if you were sat in there to get a portrait done of you.
Mm-hmm. And
that'd take, hours.
It. Yeah.
You can't smile for that long. So that's why everyone looks, serious and whatever.
That makes sense.
I've also seen, weird, funny-looking selfies from, the 1800s that are, people just,
Very weird,
But they're very blurry. Because they, did it in the middle of the exposure, so it's just
Oh,
so
creepy,
funny.
blurry picture. I gotcha. That's so funny. But yeah, people in history do look really bad and upset and not very
just
fun.
everything sucks. I'm Joseph Stalin. I mean, he probably did think that, but...
Who knows? You're not Joseph Stalin.
I sighed.
I don't have that one. The school must have missed it.
Stupid school. Mai shrugged and set the textbook back in her pile.
They have a bunch at the library. You can just check one out. Where's the library?
Rifled? Is that a word? Rifled?
Rifled.
Rifled?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not R-I-F-L-E. Oh, I guess it's 2 F's. Mai rifled through her notebook and wrote something down. She tore out a page and handed me a crudely drawn map.
Oh. Okay, well, I'll be back in a little bit.
If the map works. Oh, hey, we found it. It took me at least 20 minutes to find the library. By the time I realized I was holding a map upside down, the sun was setting.
Oh no!
The library is much larger than I expected. The walls lined from floor to ceiling with books of all sizes on rough wooden shelves. Intimidated, I headed for the front desk. A recognizably green and gray jacket was bent behind the counter.
Ooh.
Normal boots. I briefly considered running away.
Can I help you? You should do it, because this guy.
Try his voice.
Oh, yeah, the school forgot to give me one of my textbooks. I was told I could get it here.
Which one is it?
The History 309 textbook.
He stepped out from behind the counter and motioned for me to follow. We dodged between the aisles in a comfortable silence. He seemed friendly enough. I should say something. What was his name again? Shane? Gerard? John? No, not John. Satch. Huh?
Oh, you work here?
Ugh, of course he worked here. He chuckled, dimples appearing on his cheeks. Yeah, I'm the librarian's assistant. It is my second year, and I love it. I get to help people find books that speak to them. His eyes twinkled like a kid's on Christmas. Your book's right down here. He stopped at a row of thick, dusty books. Is this all history? And pulled out the book with the powder-wigged man I saw earlier.
Thanks.
He waved his hand. It was nothing. Do you need help with anything else? I wanted to make a good impression on the Normal Boots Club, but I couldn't come up with anything.
No. Thanks.
You're welcome. As we headed back through the cavernous library, my unease melted away. We weren't talking, but just being near him felt like being wrapped in a soft blanket. I resisted the urge to snuggle up to him.
Oh my goodness.
We neared the front desk, stepping around a clump of studying students. As we passed, one of them shifted.
Uh-oh. Eh?
Something white flew past my face. A thick piece of triangular paper lay at my feet. I bent over and picked it up. It was surprisingly heavy. There was a quarter inside of it. God, what assholes. If I was just a hair slower, it would have hit me in the face. The students sniggered, and I recognized the boys that made fun of my hair this morning among Tall Boy
I know, and Posh Boy.
and Posh Boy.
They sound like Spice Girls, but Spice Guys.
They're probably just as much. I guess maybe we're the Spice Girls jerks.
I don't think
Is
so,
that a
but
thing?
just their names. Like,
Oh.
Posh Spice was one of them.
Oh,
Sporty
really?
Spice. Yeah.
Because Sporty Boy is one of them too, I think.
Yep.
Okay, there we
Tall,
go.
there's
We
not a
found
Tall
reference.
Spice, but... for
My
the
heart
rest of the
dropped.
Spice Girls.
I scanned my memory for anything I might have done to offend them, but came up with nothing. Yeah, they're just assholes. My hand started to shake. I hid it behind my back, trying to think of some way to defend myself.
Why did you do that? That was weird. Oh, Sporty Boy.
Yeah, what do you mean? We were just messing around. Are you suggesting we did it on purpose? I faltered. There was nothing I could say. I was outnumbered. They would twist my words around no matter how straightforward I was.
No, sorry.
One of the boys held his hand out for the paper. I inched closer to give it to him, angry at myself for being so compliant. I wish I were. A gentle warmth closed over my hand and took the paper from me. Satch examined the paper closely. I see what the problem is. Your aim would have been better if you cut the corners before you folded it. He placed the paper on the table. The boy looked at him in sheer awe. Be careful, though. You almost hit her, and that would have been awful. My hands began to sweat as panic shifted through me, afraid of the response, but... Geez, we're sorry. We'll be more careful next time. Yeah, it was an accident. They apologized? Thanks, I appreciate it.
Magic of the Boots Club.
He gave them a wide smile and continued off down the aisles. I followed closely behind, my legs weak. Don't tell me they stopped because of him. Simply because I was with him? I wanted to thank him, but my heart was pounding so hard I knew my voice would shake. We reached the front counter and scanned the history book. My lips trembled as I willed myself to say something, anything, to thank him. He tilted his head to the side. What books do you like to read?
Oh, fiction?
He chuckled. I just finished a good book. I think it would be right up your alley, if you don't mind me saying so. He reached under the counter, pulling a thick green book, and passed it to me. A man in black stood on the front, hugging a woman in royal robes. It's long, but it's one of my favorites. The Princess Betrothed.
Ooh.
Instead of the Princess Bride.
I know, I was like, that sounds like...
My watch as what brings us together today. I know that things can be tough transferring to a new school. If you're ever worried, just read this. It'll transport you 100 miles away in a second. Tears stung my eyes, so I ducked my head.
Thank you, Satch. For more than just the books.
You're welcome. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think I got your name.
I'm a transfer student, she said the rest of it.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Hana. Let me know how you like the book.
I will.
That couldn't have gone better. Not only was Satch impossibly kind, but being around him felt easy, refreshing. Like being doused in the mist of a waterfall. Oh gosh, what was I thinking? My cheeks hot, I left the library, two surprisingly heavy books under one arm. I settled into bed, eager to get started with my new reading material, but... Maya was sitting at her desk, carving a pencil idly into the pages of a notebook. Every few minutes she released a long, drawn-out sigh as the lead of her pencil whined against the paper. I lowered my book and took the bait.
Is something wrong, Mai?
She let out another dreary sigh.
I hope Jared notices me this year. Does Jared know you like him?
I whirled around in feigned shock.
I don't like Jared. Oh.
I closed my book and set it aside, deciding to play along.
You have at least... Oh, well, have you at least tried talking to him? No? I mean, I have before. Why don't you try again?
She bobbed her head from side to side, considering this like it never crossed her mind before.
Yeah, maybe I could do that.
Satisfied, I picked my book back up.
Have you ever had a boyfriend, Hana? Huh? Me? No, never. Really? Never? Never. I bet you 10,000, what is that? Yen? That you meet a totally cute boy here and fall in love by the end of the school year.
There's like a few things every once in a while that remind you that this is in Japan.
I know.
Otherwise, it's written by people from America. They're just like,
with like
we'll
American people.
Money with the yen and replace people's names with like Japanese names. But that's it.
Gotcha.
I buried my face back in my book, barring mine from any further discussion. Fall in love by the end of the year.
Me. That said me, sorry.
If I were a betting kind of girl, I'd take that bet.
It's in the morning.
I awoke the next morning with what felt like a lizard in my throat. It was like crawling around. Lizards also hiss.
Yep.
She did a humming. I was already up, shuffling through her school bag with an enigmatic grin. First day of school.
Oh gosh. Hana, you're finally awake.
Her voice sliced through the air like a knife and I winced. She was definitely a morning person.
It's time for the first day of school. Aren't you excited? I can't wait to see what's gonna happen. What do you mean? Is something special happening today? Yeah, it's the first day of school. Something strange always happens on the first day of school, especially to someone like you.
Yeah, pink hair person. She winked.
Someone like me? I'm still confused why she has pink hair. You know what I mean. Hair.
She smiled and started messing with a pile of papers on her desk. Shaking my head, I got out of bed, pulled on my uniform out of my closet. My palms sweat as I held the gold vest and blue jacket. Is it really possible for things to be differently here than they were at home? What if the problem wasn't actually the school? I shook the thoughts out of my mind in my head and changed into my uniform.
Oh! What is it?
Oh, it's a cute uniform.
You look so cute!
Oh, I just said that.
Really?
He crept up my neck.
Yes, completely! Your hair matches your uniform so well. You look like a flower blooming straight out of the ground. Thank you.
Does that mean you're dead and pushing up daisies?
Let's hope not.
Plot twist, you're dead this whole time. You died in a car accident. So sad. Water stung the back of my eyes and I turned to start packing my backpack. How was I getting worked up about something as little as this? Must have gotten less sleep than I thought.
Is something wrong? No, nothing's wrong. I'm just happy.
How dumb was that? I started crying at the first sign of someone being nice to me. I took a deep breath to steady my nerves. Aw, Maya's so nice. What an oddly menacing laugh. Whack!
Creepy face.
All the air left my lungs as something like horse hooves slammed against my back.
Hark! You'll do just fine, don't worry. This is gonna be awesome.
I stiffly peered over my shoulder.
That was you? Huh?
Maya stood behind me, her hand raised. Somehow she had the strength of a bodybuilder.
Nothing.
I was just about to zip my bag when I spotted the book Satch gave me lying on my nightstand. The Princess Betrothed. He said that if I ever needed to be transported somewhere far away, I could take it with me. It was pretty good so far. Maybe it'd be smart to bring it along, just in case I had no one to talk to between class periods. What I needed for my first day of class? Oh, who knows? We'll make the decision next time. Next time, we'll make a decision about bringing the book. Maybe it'll affect everything in the game.
It probably will. Oh well, enjoy the cliffhanger.
Bye.